Now, thousands of Ijebu-Ode indigenes and non-indigenes, both local and international, gathered for the colorful Ojude Oba festival in Ogun State, Nigeria. Now, this festival, celebrated annually on the third day after Eid el-Kabir, honors the rich heritage of the Ijebu people while promoting unity and communal harmony, moving from the vibrant portrayal of culture to a critical issue. Ogun State, where the festival is held, is in dire need of infrastructural development, as you soon see, amongst other economic benefits. A major one being tourism. Left untapped could be of great benefit to not just the state, but the country at large. Well, Bernard, who is seated right next to me, hallelujah, had the opportunity to witness the festival live, and he did compile this report.
While most Muslims across Nigeria are excited to celebrate the annual Eid al-Adha celebration, indigenes of Ogun State, and particularly those from Ijebu-Ode, have something extra to look forward to: the Ojude Oba festival. This is an annual festival that brings together illustrious sons and daughters of Ijebu-Ode from across the globe to celebrate with one another in the presence of the governor, traditional rulers, and invited guests. Several dignitaries, some indigenes of Ijebu-Ode, were in attendance to grace the occasion, and many couldn't wait to see the various groups in elegant traditional attires as they marched around the arena, paying homage to the Awujale of Ijebu land, the governor, and other dignitaries present. While addressing the crowd, the governor of Ogun State thanked the people for showing up in large numbers and was excited about the idea of making Ojude Oba a UNESCO-recognized event in the future, as suggested by Dr. Ben Ugo, who represented the Minister of Culture and Creative Economy.
Tourism can be a powerful tool for economic development and poverty alleviation when managed responsibly and sustainably. Unquote. This festival, I must say, is being managed responsibly and sustainably. The festival not only preserves our tradition, but also creates opportunities for economic advancement, demonstrating the power of unity in driving progress. As a state, we are proud that this festival has gained national and global recognition.
And as it always is every year, the highlight of the festival was the horse display by the royal families, which lit up the arena.
I came from the UK, you understand? So if I can come from the UK, this is my wife beside me. If we can come, next year I want to bring my children to come as well. So it's just for you to know your roots. That's just the basic.
And so ends this year's festival, Ojude Oba 2024. For the illustrious sons and daughters of the land, they cannot even wait for next year to come, and they're excited that this has happened. But then for Nigeria entirely, if things go according to plan, based on what the minister has said, this festival may just be on UNESCO's list. In Ijebu-Ode for News Central, I'm Bernard Akide.
All right, just before we go, before we delve into the happenings of the Ojude Oba festival a few days ago, we'll go back to our correspondent, Emmanuel Bagudu, who is standing by to give us information as to what exactly is going on in Kano concerning the Emirates issues. Emmanuel, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening.
Okay, good evening, Emmanuel. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Could you quickly, intimate us as to what exactly is the latest information coming out of Kano concerning the Emirates story?
Yes, the latest information is the fact that Justice Abdullahi Mohammed Liman has finally delivered his ruling on the legality of the repeal law. Of course, he has set aside all the processes and has declared null and void the new law that actually led to the dethronement of Ado Bayero and 4 other emirs. So, and that means that Ado Bayero remains the emir of Kano, the authentic emir of Kano, and not Mohammed Sanusi II.
Okay, and Emmanuel, just before we let you go, I want to ask, what exactly is the reaction of the people in Kano now to this new law that has been passed? Is there calm? Have people been reacting a certain way? And then what is the immediate action that will be taken at the moment? Who is occupying the Emirates Palace? What exactly is the immediate action that will go down from here on?
Yes, you recall that earlier today there was a statement from the Kano State House of Assembly, who have actually approached the appeal court to appeal the initial ruling of jurisdiction. And of course, it's expected that after this judgment, the Kano State government will head to the Court of Appeal, as expected. Now, the judgment for today actually doused down a lot of anxiety. The people, the supporters of Ado Bayero, are now calm. They are no longer, tensed. And of course, the people supporting Sanusi are also calm as well, because they already know that the next move is to go to the appeal court, because judgment has been made. And of course, everyone is calm. And what that means to the people of Kano is that the decision of the court has been made, and then there's no any cause for alarm. And then all that, the next move is now going to be from the side of the state government to know whether they are going to the Court of Appeal or not.
All right, Emmanuel Bagudu, thank you for the update, and we'll definitely look to see if there is more update from that area. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
All right, we go back to talking about the Ojude Oba Festival now, and as you did see earlier, Bernard Akede, who I did say he's kind of unstable in this program, covered the program, covered the event, and I think no better person to answer the questions than himself. But I just want to quickly ask, I know that the federal government did mention, at that event that they're looking to pump in more money, invest more in not just the Ojude Oba Festival now, but some other festivals like the Argungu Festival, the Calabar Carnival, and there's one other one that happened in Kwara State, alongside the Durbar festivals. You would realize that although this can be a major investment for us, we haven't exactly prioritized that, in terms of tourism. And this year is more pronounced because people got to see how beautiful and flamboyant the event is. So what would you say your take is on it, being that you witnessed it firsthand, and what perks of it can be for Nigeria?
So I think, first of all, of course, the videos and pictures, everybody was waiting for them, and the moment you tap into, as a matter of fact, I think this is the beginning part of making money out of it, right? You tap into the pictures and the videos and the hashtags. And if you have videos or pictures about what happened, you can have views entering hundreds of thousands. And that on its own is a way of making money off of social media, right? But, there could be more. Now, the federal government is looking towards making up to $100 million US
yes.
By 2030, but it has to come down to how will the government make it, and then not just the government, but the people as well. So tapping into tourism, like you clearly stated, not just the Ojude Oba Festival, so many other festivals across the country. First of all, making those festivals, I beg your pardon, accessible to people home and abroad, right? Making the venues of these festivals very, very, what's the word now? Accessible as well. Making it quite enticing for people to come, for people to want to come, and then modernizing some of these festivals while still keeping some of the traditional culture and heritage that actually makes this festival what they are. You talked about the Argungu Fishing Festival. Yes, it's still going to be about fishing, it's still going to be about reconnecting, but it should now be more interesting, more enticing, and then, of course, more lucrative, such that the people who are invested in this festival begin to make money, the government makes money, people who are coming from abroad in certain ways, in more ways than one, can pump in money, can connect their businesses to these festivals, not just on the day, but several weeks or months leading to this particular festival. Because, you'll be surprised to see, and I did mention, the last time we talked about this, that some of the designs that we've seen, right? Very soon you'll see them on certain runways across the globe.
I tell you.
Right? There'll be African Fashion Week coming in November in Nigeria here. You have the one in Milan, you have the one in London, you have in Paris, and in other places. So there should be some kind of way that the government and the individuals who are invested in this can reap some benefits from all of these things, not just seeing them on social media.
Yeah, and I think that another challenge is when we talk about hospitality, in terms of tourism, a lot of people seem to blame things on the federal government, and if you look at, we talk about Ogun State, certain other states, we see a lot of dilapidated facilities, right?
Yes.
Hotels that are not exactly living up to standard. And we understand that this festival, for example, hotels are booked way before people coming.
Weeks before,
yes, and you still see hotels calling themselves 5-star. I was joking about it the other day, and you get there and find out it's just candle. So a lot of things are happening that individuals can also tap into, right? Without even waiting for the federal government to prioritize tourism, right? If I was a hotel owner, I would prioritize this period because I know that people want to come, and of course everyone wants to stay in the best hotels because from the things I'm seeing here, I see lots of Daddy London and TUS and things like that. So you would see people who want to make the most of their time, stay in the best of places. Aside that, some other little things that we can classify as tourism sites as well in that same state can also be, would I say they need to be boosted as well, worked on. So when people come for the festival, it's not just the festival that attracts them. There are other things that attract them. So I think that we need to get rid of this mentality of, if the federal government wants to prioritize it, then they need to invest in rebuilding facilities. But I think this is a money-making venture, really. It's a cash cow for individuals more than the federal government. When the federal government hits the jackpots, they would make more money, in terms of tourism and all. But on this little levels, right, anybody and everybody can make money from this. So the individuals as well and business owners need to prioritize that as well.
I definitely agree with you. Now, there was also something that struck my eye. That somebody went on social media to say, Ijebu people only know how to do party and make ashoke and make clothes. Of course, they came for him anyway. And that the roads leading to Ijebu Ode, the structures, are quite dilapidated, like you clearly mentioned. I honestly think and feel from what I saw again that the money is made. First of all, there should be avenues for people to make, for locals particularly, to make good money off of this festival, such that it can even run them through the year. Yes. And I believe it's possible. In doing this, I think still bringing back the government. First of all, you get to when you're turning off on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, for those who know the route, getting to Shagamu and turning all the way to Ogun State, the roads are terrible. So people are coming for this glamorous festival. First of all, remember there's Ileya 2 days before. People are coming for Ileya, Idul Adha, and then 2 days after there's Ojude Oba festival. But the roads leading to these places are really, really terrible. That's where it starts from. That's the beginning. Now, I think this is where a lot of fingers are being pointed at the government. Yeah. You know that people are going to come home. Your illustrious sons and daughters are coming home. Ex-governors are coming home. Traditional rulers are coming home from all across the globe. Yeah. The best you can do, or the least you can do, is to at least make their journey, make their journey smooth for them. That's one. Now, two, there should be some kind of, maybe not stringent rule or law, but there should be some kind of way to ensure that at least more than half of the resources that will be used, for the festival should be sourced from the community, such that if you're going to make clothes, we know that Ashoke, I think Abeokuta is the home of Ashoke, if I'm not mistaken, Ogun State particularly. So if you're going to use most of these things, patronize the people from that state. It's going to empower them. It's going to enrich them. Fixing the roads after the Ojude Oba festival, those good roads are still going to be there for the state. Exactly. Right? I know that Ogun State is
you don't have to do it every year.
Every year. The state is investing a lot in agriculture. So a lot of the food that's going to be used there should be sourced from the state. There was a time we were saying buy Nigerian to grow the Naira, right? Buy Ijebu Odean to grow Ijebu Ode, if you like. Basically, so people really need, it's about time we started investing we started, enforcing sustainable development such that we are purchasing our own products. We shouldn't wait, and by we I'm talking about, Ijebu Ode and Nigeria in general, shouldn't wait until when the festival is coming, right? All these things should be put in place. Again, sustainable development. After the festival, happened, that's the pictures that we've seen. Later, we started seeing some pictures of certain communities with still, roads that were untarred, some structures that were dilapidated, that were not well built. So there's more that should go into all of this. Not taking away from the glitz and the glam that we've seen, and all the steez that, as they say now, that's been going around, but it goes beyond that. By the end of this week, I want to believe that more than half of the people who came from abroad or from far and wide would have gone back here, right? And then we'll hardly hear anything again about Ijebu Ode until another year. But whatever, it should be such a way that whatever revenue was generated from this festival and from what we've seen, should be sustainable for another year, at least almost another year, if not the entire year.
So I would like to very quickly say big ups to Niyi Fagbemi, because I was just telling you that the pictures gave life to that event. And most times when we talk about tourism, we hardly talk about photography as a virtual, would I say, tourism pointer or station or something, because now a lot of people, I think it started last year. You know, when I saw the set of pictures he released last year, I got very interested. And this year, I saw the pictures again. I'm not from Ijebu, but I found myself asking, like, can non-Ijebu people participate in this? And I found out you actually can. So imagine a lot of people from outside, and we see how a lot of people now have the mentality, like the African mentality. A lot of Westerners now are enjoying Afrobeat. A lot of people that have no business with Ashoke, business with Ankara, are embracing that culture.
Exactly.
So you would know, you see how adventurous the white people are. They would want to be a part of this. So I would not be surprised if next year we're seeing an influx of not just the sons and daughters of Ijebu coming back, but even Westerners coming to witness this for the first time. So that's one part of it that I think that when it comes to telling the story, you know, we've always said this, and I think that it's another challenge that we still have. A lot of times, even Nigerians sell the story of Nigeria from the poverty perspective. You see pictures of, you know, dilapidated areas, pictures of people who are poor, but these pictures are the pictures that can actually sell us, right? That's one thing. Then secondly, I would say that even though the federal government has said it, that they want to prioritize, you know, and invest more in the tourism sector, I'm hoping that they leave they're true to their words, you know, because it's one thing to say this and then next year we're not hearing anything, right? Because if they can take it more seriously, then I think that one of the major projects will be working on the roads, because now it's more of a federal government, a federal project than an individual project. So I think it's going to be a no-brainer, all of these things that we're mentioning. If truly they want to prioritize that sector, then it's going to be a no-brainer fixing these things that we've talked about. It's going to be a very beautiful outcome, really.
It certainly will be eventually if things, you know, and yeah, of course you can see the images that you know that went quite viral. I had my own videos, by the way. I don't know why everybody's calling me Fagbemi, but that's fine. Anyways, but
we'll see the videos truly, and judge.
I mean, I'm not a professional photographer. You should go and do a report on let's see.
You know, nice one.
But I truly agree with you, you know, on this. There's so much to gain from tourism industry. As a matter of fact, there was a time when tourism was, you know, was a huge money spinner in Nigeria. It still should be, even though things have changed a little bit. The economy of the country is not fantastic, but this is another way by which we can. And again, you know, we're saying Ojude Oba just once a year. So if we have the Ojude Oba once a year, we have the Arugungu once a year, we have the Durbar Festival once a year, we have the Calabar Christmas Carnival once a year. By the time you put all these carnivals and festivals together, we have almost 15 from across the country. And if there is, which I actually believe there is, good money to be made from each of these festivals and carnivals, who's to say that, you know, the federal government will not make the desired $100 million or $100 billion by 2030, or even possibly make more. Yeah,
and the funny thing is, these festivals that we hear about are not the only festivals, right?
Exactly.
Personally, I can say that from my place, we have a very beautiful festival called the OVL Festival. And every year, just like the Ojude Oba Festival, people from across the globe come back, you know, sons and daughters of the Oguri Kingdom or land, whatever they call, come back and then they celebrate this festival in a massive way. Now, once in a while, they get sponsorship from different brands, and when the sponsorship comes, it adds light to the festival. You know, so imagine, you know, putting money into some of these festivals that are not even very pronounced yet, and seeing how and seeing a ripple effect. You know, it's not just okay, you go to Ogun State, go to this, and then other states is dormant. I think that almost every region has their own peculiar festival. You know, and it's going to be beautiful. It
definitely will be beautiful. Just before we leave this story, are you going for the Oguri Festival?
If it clashes with Ojude Oba, I'll go. And I'll take my own professional pictures so people can see.
Buy Oguri to make Oguri great. So, exactly. All right, that's the most we can take on this particular story.